Hey everyone, Luke here, and in this video I want to show you the Ford Kuga I bought for just £500. So, how did I guess this entire car for just £500? There's got to be a catch, right? Yeah, there is. This has its issues, and the guy I bought it off, my friend Martin, was going to scrap the car because he just got fed up with it. But I thought, I'm going to give it a shot for £500 because I can't lose out on it. And I don't think the faults are too big anyway. The car's driving, it's got an MOT until April, and it seems to be a fault with the turbocharger. It's not boosting correctly, which could be an actuator or vacuum hose, or hopefully something just as simple as that. But has had the Campbellton water pump done in less than 5,000 miles ago, and that cost him £500 alone. So the major work in that sense has been carried out. It's a 2-litre TDCI titanium with 150,000 miles on the clock, so still should have a bit of life in it. It's up there on the mileage, but nothing too bad. But overall, it's in remarkably good cosmetic condition. It's just very, very dirty. It's got a few curb marks to the alloy wheels, but apart from that, that seems to be the worst of what this car is. There's no dents, no scratches, apart from the slightest little scuff on the back bumper. But yeah, this should clean up to be a pretty nice car by the time it's finished. Now, I must admit, I'm not actually a lover of SUVs. I much prefer States, but I've got to admit, as far as SUVs go, I think the styling on this Kuga is pretty good. It's quite high off the ground, much higher than the new Kuga, by the way. Especially you feel that when you sat in it, it's quite high up. You do get a nice commanding view of the roads. But yeah, I've always kind of liked the first generation Kuga. It was the first of them, and it was a decent first attempt. Of course, it's based on a Mark II Focus underneath, which is a good car anyway. It definitely drives well, and those characteristics have kind of spilt over into the Kuga. For the type of car it is, it feels sharp, it feels nimble. Obviously not as good as a Focus, of course, but when you compare it to like a Qashqai from the same year, which my mum just got rid of, this is a much, much nicer and sharper car to drive. So this being a titanium spec, it's actually got a lot of standard equipment on the car anyway. So we're talking stuff like keyless entry, dual zone climate control, cruise control, automatic lights, automatic wipers, DAB radio, quick clear, front windscreen like the heated ones Fords have, which are awesome by the way, and rear electric windows as well. So it's got a good amount of equipment that modern cars would still have on them. So it doesn't feel old in that sense either. It's practical, it's got a decent amount of storage, even underfloor storage as well, which is super nice, as well as nifty little places for your sunglasses. Now, one thing I do really like about this car is the actual design of the interior. I think it looks still very modern. It's nice, it's neat. I love that it's got a standard radio in the middle, which I can actually pop out and stick a CarPlay unit in if I want, which would really bring the interior of this car up to date. One thing that really stands out to me over modern Fords, though, is the quality of just everything. For Ford, this is really, really, really well built. I mean, this was Ford's first kind of foray into the SUVs, you know, when they went into this like kind of Qashqai-esque crossover SUVs, and I'm assuming Ford wanted to hit the ground running and prove how good quality the cars could be at that time. And it's a shame that the newer Kuga seems to have cheaped out on that kind of stuff. And I'm talking stuff like the plastic, so everything's soft touch and it feels nice and well put together. We've got lots of fabrics even above the doors, which is super nice, and the new Kuga doesn't even give you fabric low down on the door. So you can just feel like this is a much better quality product. And the same's true when you go down here with the lower plastics. Yes, they are not soft touch, but they're nowhere near as scratchy as even the top plastics on modern Fords. So there is a real sense of quality here. I wouldn't quite say premium. You're not looking at the same as like a BMW or an Audi, but for the type of car it is, it's actually surprisingly well put together. So what's the Kuga like to drive? Well, this one's in limp mode at the moment, which is the main fault. So that's flat on the floor. It doesn't want to shift. It's okay if you just want to get to 30, 40 miles an hour. It'll keep up with traffic in that sense. It's no issue. Wouldn't want to take on the motorway though. The rest of the car though is actually fine. It's comfortable. There's no knocks on the suspension. It feels good. But there is a couple more faults as well. One of them is the key is not working. So it's got keyless entry, but it doesn't register the key being in the car, so I have to put the key in the side of the steering column, but it wreaks havoc with the alarm and all that kind of stuff, so we need to get that sorted out. On top of that as well, there's also a problem with the seatbelt buckle in the car, where the seatbelt doesn't always go into it, so that takes a while sometimes. So whether there's a coin lodged down there or something, I'm not too sure, but I'm going to have to investigate that, maybe get a new buckle for the driver's seat. Apart from that, I I think that's all the faults so far on the car. The rest of it seems relatively well cared for and maintained. There's no weird noises, the engine's smooth, and apart from that, yeah, you wouldn't notice anything wrong with this car. It still feels nice and surprisingly responsive for an SUV. So there we go, there's the £500 Ford Kuga. And coming up on this channel, the next video I'm going to have is a deep clean of the interior. Now, the way you've seen it in this video is the interior cleaned up, but when I got the car, it was much dirtier inside, and the first thing I wanted to do was just give the interior a nice clean. So that video is probably coming up in about 2 weeks' time, followed by an exterior clean, as well as any mechanical fixes as well. Now, of course, with a car that costs £500, kind of the game here is to keep this as cheap as possible in the repairs while still doing them properly. So my budget is, can I get this car fully fixed on the road for less than £1,000? I think it's doable, but there's only one way to find out. So if you want to see that stuff, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next video. As always, thanks for watching, see you soon, and take care. Nah, I don't think it's coming for you, Lisa. No.
It's okay. I'll eat everything by myself.
Maybe next time.